They were working class Americans who were voting for Trump, but they saw him as the guy to stand up for working people. What's that about? How would you explain that?
Racism. They don't want there to be another black president.
That's it. So it's basically a Trump rally. And we met people who were from
at the Trump rally.
I know. Well, that's our job.
The far-left socialist agitator Owen Jones has gone to America to cover the election. Apologies to all Americans on behalf of Britain. He's the type who believes if Trump wins, America will become a fascist state similar to Nazi Germany. Just look at the title of this video. You get the picture. And for those of you who don't know, his YouTube channel has 637,000 subscribers and almost every video is pro-Palestine, anti-Israel commentary. That's pretty much all he talks about. He was interviewing Democrats, who he thinks are his people and hold all the same views he does, until this lady and her husband brought him back down to earth with a ban. The conversation was going well until Jones had to relentlessly keep banging on about Gaza and how it's American weapons that are being used to commit genocide. She admitted she believes what is happening in Gaza is really bad, but that this election is not a one-issue election. She then called out Hamas, which he was surprised by and didn't like. For her, it's also about LGBT rights and women's reproductive rights. To which Jones replied, predictably, genocide is more important than all those. It's interesting how those things have suddenly become not so important to him. Her husband was fed up of him by this point and stepped in. He couldn't grasp the fact that Americans may want to vote on issues affecting their own country. He can't get his head around the fact people are attached to their country and care about it. He himself hates his own country and sees himself as a citizen of the world who wants to live under a global socialist government. I wonder if he now realizes not even all the lefties agree with him. Anyway, enough of me. See for yourself.
We met people who were from
at the Trump rally.
I know. Well, that's our job. That's my job. So, and some of those were working class Americans who traditionally would always have been Democrats. But they were saying Donald Trump's the kind of savior of working people. What's happening there? How do you explain that?
Yeah, propaganda. We have a real problem in the U.S. with propaganda, and the mainstream media does not cover Trump fairly. I say that's probably because of big money that supports mainstream media. The reason Kamala Harris has been so successful is she tapped into outside mainstream media. So there's a lot of propaganda. A lot of people who Trump will do nothing for have always embraced him. It is cultish, but it's all propaganda. They do not understand. They have no concept.
By conservative media.
Yeah, they have no idea what they're actually voting for. Come on in here. He's an independent.
Well, my other question was just my final question. Was on the other side, I met people who naturally would have voted Democrat, but they can't because of Israel's onslaught against Gaza. They just can't. What would you say about that?
So my own daughter, who I love dearly, is voted for Jill Stein, but she lives in California. She's not in a swing state, so it doesn't really matter. I think that's ignorance. I think that is being intellectually lazy. We all care about Gaza.
How would that win? That's not going to win people over, is it? If they're looking at what they consider genocide and mass slaughter.
Because, again, they have been swayed to believe that that is the only issue they should vote for.
It's just lots of dead people slaughtered, children shot in the head, blown apart.
Trust me.
With American weapons.
I could not agree with you more. But let's be honest, you and me here. Let's have an actual honest discussion about this. The situation in the Mideast is not that simple. You and I can't reduce it to a soundbite. Yes, American money goes to Israel.
Well, weapons, which kill lots of people.
Yes. Our support. 100%. I agree with you on that. But again, understand Hamas is a force that has committed grave damage to Israel. Again, we can't solve this. You and I sitting here. Netanyahu needs to get his ass to the table and negotiate, and shame on the fact that Donald Trump has been lobbying him when he shouldn't have been, as a personal citizen, to stay away from the table for the benefit of the election.
Of course,
Again, you and I can't solve the Mideast in this conversation.
No, I know. Just lastly,
I am not glossing over Gaza. It is atrocious what's happened in Gaza. But again, Hamas needs to be reined in. Netanyahu needs to come to the table.
But no one denies Hamas has committed grave war crimes, but Israel has committed far deadlier war crimes with US weapons.
I think there's all kinds of blame that can be laid. This is not a one-issue election. I am distressed and dismayed by Gaza. However, this is about reproductive freedom, LGBTQ plus rights. It is about taxation. It is
But what about people see genocide is far more important than all of those issues?
I think
Obviously,
you're
just here for one issue.
Yeah,
No, I'm not.
That's
No,
your
I'm not.
issue. I
No.
wish you the best.
No, it's just an important issue, that's all. All right. Wish them the best as well.